Hello, you're welcome back to Ying Sweet Lady's Place. My name is Yinka. I want to welcome all our new subscribers. You're welcome to the channel, and to the old subscriber, thank you for staying around. God bless you. All right, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to like the video, and please subscribe to the channel. Click on the notification bell so that wherever I upload a new tutorial, you'll be notified. I'm sure you don't want to miss any of the sewing tutorial. Please just click on the notification bell. Let's go straight into today's tutorial. In today's tutorial, we are going to be making this beautiful boo-boo with a closed slit at the back and ruffles at the sleeves. So let's get started. Here are the materials I'll be using. I'm using African print material with a soft net. It's also called a baby net. Some call it tulle or mesh. Whichever one you choose to call it, it's a very soft net. So the first thing you will do is to measure twice your length measurement plus extra 3 inches. Twice your length measurement plus extra 3 inches. Here I use 62, so I measure the 62 twice with additional 3 inches. Then I cut that out. After cutting it out, you fold it into two lengthwise. Then you're going to fold it over again, so your fabric is split into 4/4. After that, you measure down your length plus 1 inch seam allowance. Then you roll that across. If you notice, all my measurements are starting from the edge because the edge is unfold, so there will be no shoulder joining. So from the folded part, measure 30 inches downward. From the folded part, measure 30 inches downward. Then you roll it. Just roll it across like that. If you're not so tall, you can make this length to be like 26 or 28. Then on this your 30 inches mark, you measure quarter hip measurement plus extra 2 inches. Hip divided by 4 plus 2 inches. That's what you're going to measure right on that point. Then you're going to roll it straight down to the end part of your dress. Then if you want it to be pencil on the end part, you can just come in by 1 inch and blend it back to the line that you have there. But for this tutorial, I'm just going to be keeping it straight. But if you want a pencil, you can actually do that, and that's what I've illustrated for you here. Then at that corner, you measure 3 inches inward like that, 3 inches. Then you curve it. Just use your hand to get a very smooth curve like I'm showing you here. Then for the neck width, I used 5 inches for the width of the neck. Why I use 3 inches for the depth. I'm making a boat neck for this. So 5 inches by 3 inches. Then you use your French curve to connect the curves together. Then you cut that out. There will be no shoulder joining for this dress. Then you cut this place house as well. So I have to zoom this for you to see very well. So just cut it, and when you get to that corner, just blend it with a curve, just like I'm showing you here. just with a curve, blend it back to this line and cut it straight to the end part of your dress. Don't forget to put your notches. So just notch the shoulder points like that. After that, you remove the inner layer. The piece of the middle, just remove it. Then fold the fabric back in place. Align it properly. Then starting from the end part, you measure 24 inches. Then you make a mark. Just make a point like that. Then you're going to be slitting that. Just slit that, stopping ½ inch before you get to the point that you make earlier. ½ inch before you get to that point. Then you're going to give it a V cut. Yes, just like that. The depth of the V curve is just ½ inch. And here is what it looks like. Can you see? So that's what I have done there. So the next thing now is to measure all around the sleeve area, starting from that point that joins the body to the sleeve. You're going to measure it all around from one side to the other side. This will help you to know how many lengths of material required to be pleated on this sleeve. So whatever you get, you're going to be multiplying that by 4. Anyway, this depends on the fullness you want. You can multiply by 2, but I usually like it very full, so that's why I usually multiply it by 4. So the next thing now is I'll just fold my two because I like cutting my two at once. So I'll just tack it on top of each other like that, then use my pressing iron to press that down. Then I'm going to be measuring 3 inches. Just measure 3 inches because the width of the strip you're going to be pleated on the dress is 3 inches. So just measure 3 inches all around. Then just make that into a straight line. Then you're going to be cutting that out. By the time you cut this, you're going to have a very long strip. Then the width is just going to be 3 inches. This is the way I usually cut my toe. It makes it easy for me. Even if I'm making baby dress, this is the way I do it. I just tack it on top of each other like that, then I cut it at once. So after cutting the two, the next thing to cut now is to cut the strip of fabric you're going to be pleating on the on your dress. You know, for the style we pleat both the toe and also the Ankara fabric. So now you're going to be cutting a very long strip as well for the pleating. Now you may not want to multiply this by 4 because the Ankara fabric is not that much, it's just 6 years and we've used part of it to cut the dress. So you can just multiply this one by 2. Just multiply by 2 is fine. So you fold it the way I folded the 2 the other time. So fold it like that as well. But this time around, instead of measuring 3 inches all around, we are going to be measuring 3.5 inches all around because we are going to be weaving the mouth of the Ankara fabric. But if you are going to be folding it, you can just make that into 4 inches so that you have something to fold there to sew first before pleating it. But for me, I just make it 3.5 inches because I'm just going to weave then pleat. Then after that, you cut that out. So now the next thing to do is to cut the part that is going to be pleated at the back of our dress. That is that part that you're going to be putting at the slit at the back. So now the fabric is placed on fold. Then you measure 23 inches downward, then 20 inches across. So it's 23 inches by 20 inches. Then you're going to cut that out. When you open it like this, it's into 2 folds. Then the length is 23 inches while the width is 20 inches. 23 inches by 20 inches. Then the next thing is to put your tool on it. Fold your tool into 2. Fold it into 2. Let the down part be on fold. Both the Ankara and the tool, let them be on fold. At the down part, let it be on fold. Then you are going to now trace the shape of the Ankara fabric on the toe. So just use the Ankara to cut the baby net out. So after cutting it out, you are going to be putting the Ankara in between the baby net. Just put the Ankara fabric right at the middle of the baby net. Let the baby net cover the Ankara fabric. Just sandwich the Ankara inside the baby net. And that's it. The next thing you will do is just to run a stitch across. Just sew it down so that everything will become one piece. So just run your stitch across like that so that both the Ankara and the toe will become a single piece. Then after that, you trim out any excess if there's any. Trim out any excesses if there's any. The next thing to do now is to fix the part we just sew now into the slit. But first, you're going to be hemming the lower part of your garment, the lower part of your dress. You're going to be folding that. First fold once, then you fold it over again. Then you're going to be making your stitch right on top. So I'm done hemming the down part of my dress. So I'll be fixing the pleat at the slit at the back right now. So place the fabric wrong side facing up. Then you grab the piece you're going to be pleated and you mash them together like so, right side to right side. But then you're going to be doing this from the wrong side of the dress. When you're done pinning one side, you move to the other side, you pin it as well, right side to right side. But then you're doing this from the wrong side of the dress because it's actually the wrong side of the dress that is facing up right now. But you're going to be pinning it right side to right side. I don't know if I'm making sense, but by the time you'll be practicing this, I'm sure you understand better. If you have any question, please kindly drop it at the comment section. I'll be glad to answer you. Then when you're done pinning, you're going to sew that with 1/2 inch seam allowance. So after joining it, this is what you have. At this point, you need to overlock it to keep everything tidy. You can say I've done that. So the next thing is to locate the midpoint of that your V cut. Push a pin in like that. Then grab the other piece that you're going to be pleated. Fold it. Locate the midpoint. When you have the midpoint, fold 1 inch inward like I'm showing you to create an inverted pleat. 1 inch to the right and 1 inch to the left, like that. Then match the center with the center of your V cut and then you pin in place. This is actually fun to do. So you pin in place like that. When you're done pinning in place, you now layer the other side. You match it at the center again, just like I'm showing you. Match it to the center, grab the other side as well, match it to the center like that, more like you're stacking them on top of each other and making sure everything align at the middle. Then you pin it. At this point, you may want to turn to the right side to see what you have. You know, I've been doing this over time, so I already know the result I'm going to have when I have it on the right side. But you need to just to confirm, just hold it, turn it to the right side and see what you have there. If you're cool with the pleats, then you go ahead and make your stitch. So just stitch in place with half-inch seam allowance. With half-inch seam allowance. Don't forget to remove the pin. Just take your time. You know, at this point, it's maybe thick because we actually stack those fabric right on top of each other there. So it's thick now. So just run your stitch with half-inch seam allowance. And this is what you have on the right side. This is the right side of the fabric. Can you see? This is what you have. So now the next thing you want to do is to just open it up like I'm showing you. Open it up like that. By the time you open it like this, you will see your V-cut very well. Then you're going to be making a stitch right across like that. By the time you do this, you have a very straight line on the right side and everything will be closed properly. And that's it. We're done making the closed slit. So now the next thing you do is to go and press it. So you're going to iron it in place like so. Open everything very well. You may want to reduce the heat because most times if you're not careful, the iron may burn the tow material. So reduce the heat and iron. So after that, you are now going to use your hand and arrange your pleats. You know, you already formed the pleat there, so it's very easy to just arrange it like that. So just arrange the pleats. When you're done arranging the pleats, you place another fabric on top of it like so. Then you give it a good press. You may want to increase the heat at this point because you want it to crease very well, such that even if you wash that cloth, the pleat is not going to disappear. So you give it a nice press, put your steam very well and iron in place, but make sure you use another fabric to cover it. Iron it very well, press it down tightly. By the time you finish doing this, the pleats will remain like that for the longest time. Yes. And that's it. The plate is all done and ready. So even if you use your hand to scatter it, it will go back to what it was. You can see that. See how beautiful it is. And that's it. See how it's bouncing. So now prepare your strips. I've weaved mine. So if you're going to be folding yours, just do that at this stage and join them all together into a long strip. When your strip is all done and ready, now is the time to fold your sleeve. That is, starting from that joining that connects the body to the sleeve, you start folding. You fold it all around with ½ inch. Fold once, then fold over again, just to run a stitch all around the sleeve area. When that is all done, it's time to start making your pleats. Measure 2 inches all around, starting from that point that connects the body to the sleeve. Shock it all around from one side to the other side. Then you start pleating your toe. Just like I'm showing you here. Start pleating the toe. Note, you don't need to finish the edges of the toe by weaving or by folding. You don't need to do that. Just leave it exactly the way it is. But make sure you pleat it very closely. Push the toe closely to each other. More like pushing, not even pleat this time around. More like just pushing and pushing under the foot. So continue pleating the toe to the other side. So now I'm done pleating the toe on the dress. So the next thing you do is to grab the Ankara strip. Grab the Ankara strip, let it be facing the toe, match their mouths together, like kissing them together, then you start pleating. You pleat that all around as well. Both the Ankara and the toe are facing each other. When you're done with that, you are going to now top stitch the Ankara on top of the toe. Just push the Ankara over the toe, mark ½ inch, then you're going to top stitch it. That way it will keep the Ankara to overlap the toe. Then you do that all around the sleeve. And when that is all done, this is what you have. Now is the time to sew the sides together. Flip it to the wrong side. Right side facing each other. Right side to right side. Flip it to the wrong side. Right side facing each other. Then you're going to be closing the side. You're going to be closing the side with 1 inch seam allowance. Starting from where the body joins to the sleeve, you close that up. Alright, so this is me showing you how you're going to go about the joining of the sides. Just sew with 1 inch seam allowance all the way from the end part to the part where you have the bodies joined together with the sleeve. After joining the sides together, you overlock to knitting the seam. Then you bring the fabric inside out. Bring your dress to the right side. Place it on a flat surface. Let it be laid flat. Then after that, you locate the midpoint of your neckline, that is the center of the dress. Locate it and place a ruler on top of it like so. Then starting from the shoulder, you measure down the bust line, that is your nipple point, on one side of the ruler. Then you measure the same thing on the other side of the ruler. Then again, you measure down the waistline and the hip line. Repeat the same thing on the other side. Measure down the waistline and the hip line. Then you roll the center line. So starting from the center line, you measure your bust divided by 4 plus 1 inch is on one side. Then you repeat the same thing on the other side. On the waistline, measure the waist divided by 4 plus 1 inch on one side. Then do the same thing on the other side. Then on the hip line, measure the hip divided by 4 plus 1 inch and repeat the same thing on the other side. After that, you connect the points together. Note we are shocking this on the right side of the dress. After that, you connect the points together. Connect the points together. Repeat the same thing on the other side as well. Connect the points together like so. Then from your hip line, you slant it to the end of the wing of the dress. Just slant it like that. Note we are having this choke on the right side of the dress. So go take to the sewing machine and then you sew on your lines. So just sew on that your choked line. And at this point, you want to finish the neckline with a bias strip. Place the bias on the right side of the dress on the neck. Then you sew it all around. When you're done sewing it all around, then you turn it to the wrong side and top stitch. And that's it. Our dress is ready. Yeah, that is it. At this point, the dress is ready. You can see how beautiful it's looking. That's the back. See the slit at the back. See how beautiful it's looking. All right, so at this point, the dress is ready, but I'm going to be putting stones on mine. Just normal paper stone. I'm going to be putting that on mine. So just cut out the paper stone in case you may want to skip this step. At this point, this dress is ready, but if you want to do this, you can do that as well. Just put your paper stone, then place fabric on it, and you put your iron to transfer the stones to the dress. You may want to steam press as well to keep the stones permanently glued to the dress. And that's it. The dress is ready. Thanks for watching. Share with your friend. Tell your friend about it. Tell them you say it is back. Yes, back and better. All right. So please kindly give me a thumbs up. Click on the notification bell so that you'll be notified wherever I upload a new sewing tutorial. And up next, I'm going to be illustrating this trending cape. Yes, this trending collar. If you would love to see it as an hairline dress, please type A at the comment section down below. And if you love to see it as a bou-bou dress, please type B. Let's both vote. Let's vote and let me know whether you love to see it as an hairline dress or as a bou-bou dress. Just type A or B on this comment section down below. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Please kindly give me a thumbs up, like the video, subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out on any of my sewing tutorial. Thank you. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.